There are a lot of great pool players competing at all different types of pubs and pool halls across our community. I've been playing for 4 years. I'm a regular at the Break Room in downtown Kitchener. I'm not a ringer, but I've had the chance to work with a lot of great players, and I've learned a lot about the game. And that's why I'm challenging players from around the region in order to showcase some of this local talent. Regulars from pool halls all across the community are playing for bragging rights in a best 2 out of 3 8-ball match. I'm Jacqui, and this is Ringers vs. Regulars.
Hello and welcome to Ringers vs. Regulars. I'm your host, Justin Fota. Tonight we're going to see Hamid Lalani taking on Ringer's own Jacqui Reid. But first, let's take a closer look at tonight's challenger.
I've been working proactively in my own company for a couple years now and just trying to find free time to play pool whenever I can. I've been playing pool for about 5 years now, just casually with a friend, maybe once or twice a week. The friends I play with on a normal basis, we've been playing pool for the same time. We all learned how to play pool together, started off with not knowing how to hold a cue, and now we have a pretty neck-to-neck battle every time we play. I like to take the longer shots when I play. I'm more of someone who can take a long shot than a shot that's really close, and I've been trying to experiment with taking shots along the wall and seeing if it works out well. I love Chicago for the atmosphere. You've got a nice bar, you can sit and have dinner while you wait for your pool table, and when you're playing pool, there's really nice tables, they're all pretty level, and just some great people around here, and it's very spaced out. My plan to get a one-up on Jacqui would be to try and make it so she doesn't have a fair shot or a easy shot. So put her behind one of my balls or right up against the wall and try and make it so that when it's my turn, I can at least take a shot that I know I can make and not a shot that I'd be chancing. My name is Hamid Lalani, and I'm a regular at Chicago Billiards.
I have no idea what to expect. I've never seen him play. I've met him, but I don't know anything about his game. I'll just have to play as well as I can, maybe play a safety back on him if that's the only shot that I have, if I don't really have a good one, so I may end up having to do that quite a bit.
So there you have it. It should be a great match tonight with Hamid putting his long shot skills against Jacqui's defensive technique. Our players are just about ready to go, so we'll take a quick break and be back with all the action from here at the Break Room in downtown Kitchener. Welcome back to Ringers vs. Regulars on Rogers TV. Tonight we've got Hamid Lalani representing Chicago Pub and Billiards against Jacqui Reid, who as always represents the Break Room. Our players are ready to go, so let's send it over to our commentators, Alex Bartlett and Jeff Bird.
Thanks, Justin. We're just getting underway here at the Break Room in downtown Kitchener. Jeff, what do you think we need to do here to create a win for Jacqui?
Well, Hamid's experience, he's 19, he plays at a Chicago Billiards and Pub. No league experience, likes to take long shots. So once again, Jacqui's going to have to focus, bear down, and control the table.
It's cool to hear that he likes long shots. One, he wears glasses, and I wear glasses as well. That's kind of tough when you're getting down in stroke. Sometimes when you're so low in stroke, you actually look over top of your glasses, which makes it kind of difficult. And the long shots just make it that much harder to make. Should have a good match here. Jacqui won the leg, and for those of you who don't know, the first time tuning in, the leg is each opponent gets a ball behind the head string. So the head string is that little black line that's kind of faded there in by the cue ball, and you shoot it down to the opposite rail both at the same time, and the closest ball to the rail that they're standing at gets the first break.
And Jacqui won the break.
Jacqui won the break, and looks like I think the balls were a little loose on that rack there. She didn't get a ton on it, but there's a big cluster there in the center that's going to make it difficult for either player to run out. So we should have some good shots here. And Hamid does like his long shots. That was a very, very easy shot for him, it looked like. I don't know if the horn hooked him there on that. Makes it a tougher shot, but that was a very good stroke. Hamid definitely knows how to shoot that ball. He's not afraid to hit him with a little bit of speed, which is definitely good. Left himself kind of tough though.
It's a shot maybe a referee should have watched for a double hit.
Yeah, and the rules were explained to both of them. Jacqui knows the rules fairly well, but they were explained, so it's on Jacqui to stop Hamid and get us out there to ref that shot. I would have personally, but at the same time, I definitely noticed that Hamid really gets down in strokes pretty quickly. So it's sometimes difficult because you don't want to get the opponent out of shape or out of the right frame of mind when they know what they want to do. It's a sportsmanship thing, but at the same time, you gotta ask for that ref when you believe it's close. Jacqui's going for that 6 ball up in the corner pocket, and that was a very confident stroke, and she made it no problem. What do you think's out there, Jeff?
I think the 1 goes past the 13. It's hard to tell from this angle. The 2 definitely goes. I think I would shoot the 2 and come off the back rail for the 4 in the same pocket. Or play the 5 off the rail, off the 10, and control that pocket.
She hits that 5 ball. She has to hit it with a decent amount of pace in order to come back across the table. Because I don't think that 15 will nudge it down too well to the 4. But the 7 ball's a sitting duck in the middle of the table, so she's going for that 2 ball. It's a nice attempt. So Hamid's balls are pretty open here. All he needs to do is get good on that 13, really. What do you think, Jeff? Take the 11 to the 13, to the 15, or 11-15?
I would go 15 from this angle. I would go 15, roll it forward with a bit of sidings to kick it off the rail. The other sidings. Now he can't see the 13.
And again, so everybody knows what Jeff meant by sidings, the little top sidings there he wanted insides on that one. He put outsides, which means that the insides is when you're cutting the ball. If you're cutting the ball to the right, you could put right spin on it. If you put cutting it to the left, you put left. That's insides. And that was a really good hit on that 13 ball. I see some safeties coming our way soon, don't you?
She's going to have to because that 2 ball doesn't go.
She'll need to get really good on that 1 ball sooner rather than later if she wants to try to break out that 2 and develop it to run out the table. It's a tall order, so I'd rather get a ball in hand, personally speaking.
Yeah, she could call a 3 just a shot and leave the cue ball right tight behind the 5.
Looks like she's putting tops on it. I don't think she
I think she called a shot. I mean, called the completion of the 3-ball.
That's a good shot. I think that 1 is in the way of the bank on the 13 to the side pocket. So I kind of like hitting this 4-ball nice over, leaving it over on over the corner pocket, and calling just a shot.
It's a tough reach for it though, the angle on the 4-ball with a rake. She just rolls ahead for the 7. A little bit too far. That's okay, she's got a great safety.
She was definitely thinking about the 2-way a lot there, so she forced the cue ball over there a little bit, which caused her to miss that shot. But it's a tough, sometimes you just take your mind off it, and that was a great hit. Did not think you could see that ball from here.
This is a perfect opportunity just to roll up and touch the 2-ball, leave the cue ball behind the 1, because the 2's, it's not the easiest ball to be made sometimes. It's very positioned for.
Yeah, it's positioned right on the rail there, so that would be the best shot, I think. I don't know if she called it, to be honest with you, up in the corner. She did call that ball. And as you can tell, hopefully you all can see the cue ball. The cue ball has a lot of red dots on it. That's really nice for the TV too, because you can actually see the spin. And when I saw that cue ball come to rest, the cue ball was still spinning, which means she put left spin on that cue ball, which made it tough.
She's got pawn in hand.
What do you think
I would start with the 5, roll forward for the 7 in the side, 2 in the corner, come out for the 1 in the corner, bring it out just a little bit for the 4, and then you have your options on your 8. Or you could start with the 4 and draw it up for the 5, then 7, then 2, 1, stop for the 8.
I like doing as little as possible, so I kind of like that 5-ball, the first option, because you get to place it with a little bit of angle if you want to roll it forward. You don't have to hit it hard. Just all you have to do is really make the 5-ball, as opposed to drawing the cue ball out. And drawing the cue ball means putting bottom spin, so once it makes contact with the object ball, it actually backs up and comes backwards. It looks like she has a good little angle there. Good shot.
She's got a nice shape on the 7.
Now see, that 5-ball on the rail was really easy because she's right-handed and she could lean over the table and make that shot without a rake. Now she needs to make sure if she's going to shoot this 7, it looks like there's a bit of an angle, like off
Just
angle.
roll it in with a little bit of tops.
But she needs to make sure, the thing is that with that being right-handed on that 5-ball, the 2-ball's on the opposite side of the table, so she might need the rake for this shot. Pulling out the rake.
She could elect to shoot the 4 down as well, and then go back up for the 2, eliminating the rake.
So this rake has multiple notches in it, so you can go up and down and really get the best, most comfortable position for your stroke. The rake shot is definitely not an easy shot. And as you can tell there, she put some spin on it to bring it back. I can't tell Jeff how straight she is on that 4-ball. That could make it really tough. Can she roll 2 rails out at this?
Even just 1 rail to see the 1 on the side. She just has to get past the 8. She'll get 2 rails. She's playing tops.
So she stood up because I think she's afraid of following that cue ball into the corner pocket there. And so it looks like she's putting gonna put bottoms on this. This is a difficult shot. Such a long distance in between to keep the backspin on that cue ball enough to back it up is tough. Jacqui's taking her time, which is always good. Making sure she's picking the right shot. Gonna go for that 1 ball instead. I like the 1 ball because if she rolls this forward, I'll just overcut it. Amatuer has a pretty good opportunity to roll forward just a bit and with center ball actually, and be able to get on that 8 for the same corner pocket. Looks like he's jacked up a bit. That was a great shot, but with the bottoms, it came off the rail more than he wanted. That spot, that marker looks really close to the pocket on that shot. He has to rake this and cut it in. It's not an easy shot because you're so far, and it's not the natural stroking motion with this. So he definitely took over that 1 ball. He has control of that 1. I definitely like playing the save here. Getting the cue ball just 2 rails down towards the 8-ish on the opposite side of the 1. Don't try too much. Let the angles take care of it.
Just thinning the 4 and running at 2 rails, you just have to worry about that top left corner coming into play for the sewer. It's better to play it so it hits the 3rd diamond on the rail she's on, and then goes to the 1st diamond at the top rail, and then comes to the side rail, completely hooking him on the 1 and the 8. It's a thin cut.
Looks like she's cutting
tops.
Yeah. Just to make sure she doesn't. She's sitting this pretty fat. It's pretty full, so. Decided to make him go for the bank. I don't know if he can make that bank past the 1. The big thing is that he's on the rail, and if he makes this shot, it is going to be a really good shot, and you can't blame anybody for it. You want to make him work and make him make a tough shot to get out. But also, by doing this, he automatically gets her ball out, and she has a good opportunity to place that 4 on the side and roll forward for the 8 in the corner.
I think with that angle, she has to play the 4 in the corner and keep the angle for the cue ball straighter on the 8. If she shoots it in the side, she's going to be rolling away from the 4 towards the other side pocket and making the angle on the 8 a lot tougher.
I believe you're right, but she still likes the side pocket, so she's going for it. And there you go.
She's got it. It's just a tougher 8.
Good thing she's not on the rail. This makes it a tad bit easier. The percentage is a little bit more in her favor. If it's right on the rail, it's even tougher. Just lining up that 8. She marked it with that marker. Needs to do now is just concentrate and follow through and make that ball. She's hit it too hard. He left Hamid a pretty good, easy chance at making this 8 in the corner pocket.
Well, he said he likes long shots.
This is the tester. And it seems like he does, because that was a very powered right through that 8-ball and put it right in the heart of the corner pocket.
Game 1 is in the books, and after a tight match, Hamid Lalani has taken the lead. We'll be right back with Game 2. Stay with us. Welcome back to Ringers versus Regulars. In Game 1, we saw Jacqui take an early lead, but through some strong shots, Hamid was able to come back and take Game 1 of the best-of-3 series. We'll now rejoin Alex Bartlett and Jeff Bird with Game 2 already in progress.
He definitely knows how to hit the ball. And those pockets at Chicago don't play so nice sometimes. That was a good defense by Jacqui.
She did leave the 10-ball open.
Doesn't go on the side. So he has to.
If he does do it in the side, he'll have to put a spin on it to throw it.
Looks like he's going for the corner. And there you go. So, what do you like? Do you like going the 1 ball first? I think that's too much of an angle for the 3. Looks like she's going, all she has to worry about is that 10 ball. Make sure she's not, doesn't hook herself on that 10. She actually came over top of that ball. I think I could hear it. I definitely saw it. She definitely went over top and miscued on that ball. That could be crucial, though.
Well, she's got it off the rail and down closer to the pocket. So she does get another chance. She's in better position.
Hamid really, he put bottoms on that and not enough. So in order to put bottoms on that shot, you really need to hit it with a good firm stroke to come off the bottom rail. Right now, he doesn't have much.
He's lost his positional play. See how creative he can be.
I don't think. Let's see. I think he's going for a safe.
He is.
Yeah. Uh-oh, that 8-ball is traveling. That 8-ball's...
She's in great shape now. All she has to do is make the 1, keep it on the table, and she makes a 3. The 8 sitting over the side.
Jeff mentioned keeping it on the table. Can you explain why?
You just don't want her to. She's close to the rail, so she has to hit the top of the cue ball. If she hits the center of the 1, it's very likely that she'll follow the cue ball in. It's best to hit it a little bit off the rail first, and then the cue ball's coming away from the pocket.
I think she has a bit of it's so close to the pocket, I believe, and so close to the right side that I believe she has angle to cut the ball slightly to the left, and it's called cheating the pocket. She needs to cheat the pocket here, or come off rail first. I personally like cheating the pocket if she has the angle. I'm not sure if she does. If she does, cheating the pocket I think would be the best option, but again, it's hard from here. I think she's going to slow roll it. Yep. She was nervous, so she didn't shoot that the greatest, but she didn't leave the best. But her 1 ball's now again another problem ball. It's gonna be tough to go from the if she gets the angle on that 3, it's gonna be very tough to get back up for the 1. See what Hamid does here. He's looking at that 13.
It doesn't look like the 12 passes past the 15.
No, I think if it did, he would be down and stroking that 1 already. Again, Hamid's he's very quick to his stroke. So let's see. if you notice, this is even tougher. That was a great attempt. Unfortunately, he scratched, leaving Jacqui a ball in hand. But if you notice when he was holding the rake, he was actually almost underhanding the shot. By underhanding it like that, it's not natural. So what happens is it really changes everything about your stroke.
Jacqui's rake technique is very good because you're looking down the line of your cue, and you can see where you're aiming with it.
I believe you've worked with her quite a bit on that
I have.
beginning stages. I like going 2 rails and out, following it. You can hit it smoother, stronger. All I gotta do is make that one ball. Oh, she cut it a little bit too much, but she still has angle. I think she's her bridge hand. She's right-handed, so I think her bridge hand's gonna be over top of that 8 ball, making it a little tougher. Just make sure to hit this.
My worries is that she's going to cut the 3 and the cue ball is going to go off the rail, travel across, and then be behind that 15 and 12.
It's very possible. She needs to either hit it with some good force. I don't think she can hold this ball. So I think she needs to hit it pretty smooth to come 2 rails. So after hitting the 3, hit the first rail, that the 3 beside, cross table off the other rail and back out. But again, that 15 ball is really big here. She needs to hit this.
She cut a little thin.
Too thin, with left spin. There's left spin on that. I think she was hoping to hit the bottom rail and come out, but I don't think it wasn't very strong of a stroke. She needed to hit it a lot stronger. Hamid's picking a good line, leaving the 15 for last because the 8 ball's right there. Really make it. He definitely got nervous on that stroke because he was so close. He had to put it so close to the rail, to the ball, so he didn't want to double hit it because that is a foul. So he stunned it. He just stabbed at the ball, and that really throws off your stroke. How important, Jeff, is a smooth stroke?
It's the most crucial thing. All she has to do is just make this 3 she's got angled, not to follow it in, bounce off, and just touch it off the rail.
I think she's...
she can see the angle perfectly for making the 8 in the side.
I believe going with tops here, she's going to go 2 rails, but she shouldn't be.
You don't want to
afraid
go
of
with
that.
tops. You just want to roll it in.
There you go. So now she's on the rail. She wants to mark up her pocket and call that 8 in the side.
The pocket's tight.
It's tight, but I know Jacqui seems to like her side pocket, and definitely there's no bank there. To cut that up in the corner is very difficult. I think she has to go for it.
Yeah, she's going to go for the side. It's just very tight.
Does she have to put bottom? Should she put bottoms, bottom right?
She can't put bottoms on it. She's too close to the rail. She just has to level cue, smooth stroke, and trust her aim, and just roll it in.
You're right. I totally forgot about the cue ball there because I'm constantly looking at that 8, trying to see the angle, and she's going for the corner pocket. I definitely don't like this.
Our camera view looks a little bit different than the view of the table.
All of Hamid's balls are wide open, so I like going for that side pocket. If it drops, it drops. If it doesn't, she's pretty well going to sell out anyway. And there you go. If she goes up for that corner, there's a good chance that because she's putting that tops, there's a good chance that the other side pocket is very big for that cue ball. And if she scratches, she loses. So she needs to just roll this in.
She's got it.
That's a good stroke.
What a good shot.
So with a great shot to sink the 8 ball in the side pocket, Jacqui has tied up the best-of-3 series. We'll be right back with the 3rd and decisive game here on Ringers versus Regulars. Welcome back. Chicago's Hamid Lalani and the break room's Jacqui Reid are tied at 1 game apiece. Let's head back to the table for game 3.
Score is 1-1 right now. So we're on the hill. So it's a race to 2, which is nice short races. And we'll see. This is the last rack. Jacqui's on break. And that was I think the best break she could have done. Now, one thing you can do before you break is you can look at the rack. Hamid racked up a couple times, and it wasn't very. The first one, the 2, was way off the rack, and he didn't really take a quick look at it. And that's not necessarily his fault. With league experience comes checking the rack. The tighter the rack, the better the better the break will be. So, I always tend to, especially when I don't know the person I'm playing, I always tend to look at the rack myself and see, how tight they are. If balls are not touching, you can ask the opponent to re-rack, and because balls are not touching, can make a big difference in the rack. What do you think here, Jeff?
I like stripes. I don't know if I want to start with that one on the side. I might want to choose the one in the corner here.
Yeah, I definitely agree, especially if that 7 ball goes past it. This one here is tough because, well, the 1 ball, if she puts tops on this, the 1 ball may stop it. Oh, just a little thin.
It was a tough cut.
And did not leave very much here.
No, not at all. I think he's going to have the same back angle tough cut on the 14.
That's pretty close to a 90-degree cut, and those are very difficult because, again, the thinner you hit the object ball with the cue ball, the more speed it's going to travel after contact. If you hit it very full, the cue ball is going to slow down, making the position play a little easier. But if you hit it very thin, the cue ball is going to go really fast, and that's where people tend to hit under hit the ball and get really out of shape because they're afraid of that big kick.
Still not an easy opener.
I did not see, from this angle, didn't notice that he could, that Hamid could actually see that 13 ball.
I think he hit as much of as he could hit, and it didn't go.
It was a very good attempt, though. Now that the 13's open, really the stripes, the high ball, you only have like the 9 and the 15 in there. Again, that's still the best ball, I believe. Going for that 10 ball.
I noticed on that shot she dropped her shoulder on her stroke. There's something that's very important, is to stay in your stance and keep that pendulum motion from your elbow down, not dropping your shoulder.
And Jeff mentioned earlier, to add on to that, he mentioned a couple times earlier how crucial it is to be comfortable in your stroke. And that is why, if you're not comfortable, you're more likely to move any part of your body, whether it be your legs, your head, your anything. If you're comfortable, the pendulum motion, it comes fairly easy because the only thing that should be moving is your elbow down on your one arm, and that is it.
Well, if you think of a grandfather clock standing straight up and down, the pendulum stands straight up and down and just moves back and forth. If you were to lean the clock in any direction, you're going to stop that pendulum from swinging. The worst thing you see is with people bringing their elbows in or out, which causes the hand not to go forward, straight, and back, but it causes it to rock on an angle. And that stops the cue from traveling straight forward. It starts making the cue rock.
Can that not also put a lot of unintentional spin on the cue ball?
It does, and that's how it usually happens.
That was a nice attempt.
Another thing with stance is if you're in a tournament for hours and hours, you'll find that if your stance is awkward or you're counterbalancing different parts of your body because your stance isn't square, that your body just becomes fatigued trying to hold that up constantly all day long.
One of the most common things I see in issues with stance is the head People don't realize that you have to stay down in stroke. You want, the way I was told and taught is you want to see your shot go in before you get up. The only time you really have to get up is if you have to put a massive amount of draw and it's coming straight back at your cue, then you have to get up. But that's why you don't like to try those shots as little as possible. Get into an angled shot so you can stay down.
And Jacqui, when she was getting into her stance, she touched the 3-ball. It's not a foul. She just has to indicate to the opponent that she touched it, and they agree on the spot that it was. They move it back or leave it where it is. If you did touch a ball before stroke, and the cue ball was struck, and either an object ball or a cue ball rolls through that line of where the ball is now or where the ball was, it would be a foul. But that wasn't done. They talked about it, they put it back, and everything was corrected, and it is a good shot.
That comes with experience. A lot of times when people touch the object ball, it's because they're in an odd stance. They're over a ball or whatnot, and when I see people all the time, if they accidentally touch a ball, they seem to just try to stroke through the cue ball, almost like nothing ever happened. Well, that's going to make the cue ball and every other ball around it kind of travel quicker and more chance, greater chance of a ball going through that line that it went. Hamid tried that 9-ball. I did not think that it went, but he definitely traded places with that 5. Even though it's a tough shot for him, the 5-ball is very tough. It has no pocket down in that corner.
I think she's got the 3 up in the corner, but she'll be stroking over top of the 12, which makes it tough. She also has the 4 to the 1 combination. I think that's what she's looking at. Which is good. It gets the 4 out of that cluster. And that looks good. Just a little wide, yeah.
Wasn't sure what kind of angle she had. If she was going to hit that 5-ball, it would have been amazing to hit that, to make that combo and hit the 5-ball out.
And breaking it free.
Because you need to understand with breaking a ball out is you don't want to make a massive impact. You don't want to scatter all the balls again all over the place, because you're going to mess with your run out that you've already considered.
Well, you end up tying up other balls.
That too, but the big thing is all you want to do is move that 5-ball out just enough to make it past that 9-ball with comfort and into the corner pocket. That's all you need. Jacqui's balls are pretty well open again, except for that 5 and the 3-ball. The 3-ball does not pass that 9-ball. I'm pretty certain of it into the corner. She'll have to get behind it in order to go up table.
She's looking at the 1, but it's a much better idea because the 1's deep in the pocket. It's hard to control the cue ball out of there. It's a lot easier to play the 4 to the 1 and get the cue ball traveling in the direction you want to for your shape.
It'll be more of a...
It looks like that's what she's going to do, and that's good.
She just doesn't want to hit it hard enough to shoot that 4-ball way out after contact.
You just want the 4-ball to stay where the place of the 1 is. You control the pockets, preventing the 13 from going there.
That was a great shot. Now the 13 does pass, but it's still a good shot. Looks like
she's going to have to use the 4 now for shape.
I'm not sure. I can't tell, but I don't think that 6-ball can go down, travel down rail, and make it into that corner pocket. I think it's blocked.
Yeah, that stripe is in the way.
So it looks like she's cutting it to the left. Yep. And she's gonna get almost lucky. That Hamid's really lucky. That really the only ball he has is that corner pocket ball. Now this is a tough shot as well, because either he follows it in or he cuts it in. If he cuts it in, the cue ball is going to travel away. He needs to keep it in play for that 13 ball. That's his only other shot. But even if he does get on that 13, if he gets straight in, it's a tough shot to get down table. And here you go. to get back down table, back for the 12, 15, or 9 is very, very difficult. It's not a shot that I would like to be playing right now. I would be playing a safe just off the 12 ball and leaving the cue ball on the rail. So the 7's a good cue ball to try to go down and roll forward and hit out the 5. The 3 ball goes in past the 8. So
yeah, she's going to shoot the 4 here, get shape on the 2, and get from the 2 to the 6. Going for the 6 now, it does go. It's just a lot tougher shot.
I think she's looking at the full pattern. That 6 ball, if she makes it,
She's made it.
did. Now the 4 ball's a little tight, but it's on the same side as that 7 ball to travel down towards the rest of the balls. It's nice to play the balls in a section as well. The 8 ball's down table, and work your way back down table, so that way you don't have to keep going back and forth and making that cue ball travel. Less is more. Bobbled out just a little bit, but now this is very close. This is fairly close. With Hamid's stroke, I would be actually asking for a ref here.
I think he'll be shooting the 15 in the corner.
If that passes, you're right, but I don't think that passes. If it does, it's a very tight shot, and again, a lot of distance, and he's really close to that 2 ball. He's over top. He's jacking up on the cue. And it doesn't matter because he just shot it like no problem. But now the 12 does not pass that 3 ball. I don't think
this
that
is where you're
9
talking
goes
about
up.
touching other balls or hitting balls too hard. He's now had the 12 open, and now it's tightened up where it only goes in one spot.
And this is where I like taking that 13 first if he could. It was a very makeable shot. I just think because of his stroke and what I've seen, I would be asking for a ref because he does follow that cue right through, which is a really good thing to do, except for those shots. That was a phenomenal safety. I like potentially playing one back. That 5 does not go. I like putting it off the left side of the 5. That will hit off the 9 and go close to that corner pocket.
I personally would shoot the 3 away from the 12 and still controlling that pocket, so the 3 does go. Because she's got the perfect angle not to hit the 12 first.
I see what you're saying. Makes sense. Just not even looking at that.
She's got a tough 7 on the side here.
Oh.
On the rail and not
She went right over top of that cue ball. Even from where we are in our dark little corner, you could definitely hear the little ting. That ting is a miscue sound. It's not a good thing. That's why she needs to make sure she's layering up that chalk well. And most players like to chalk up every single shot, even though you might not need to every single shot. One, it builds a really good rhythm. It allows you to look at balls and every option, and it also makes sure that, well, decreases the chances of miscue. This is a tough shot here.
With ball in hand, there's no reason to put the cue ball so close. Give yourself a little bit more cueing room and be a little bit more comfortable.
The biggest thing that I can tell about Hamid and is he's not as comfortable playing off the rail. If he can stop the cue ball dead, he will, and that's why he's going for those tight shots. You know, use the rails. Don't be afraid to use them. That way you can hit it a little bit more smooth. You can hit it up, an easier shot essentially, and still get shape.
I think here it's a free shot at the bank side on the 4, leaving the cue ball down at the end rail along 13. Or just running down and bumping the 2 so it's more closer to the pocket.
Now, can you explain to everybody out there what a free shot means?
Well, if she shoots the 4 as a bank, where the cue ball is going to end up is not going to leave an easy shot for him. Shooting the 5 would open up his balls, give him shape on the 13, give him an angle on seeing the 12. Shooting the 2, if she just rolled up, touched the 2, and pushed it towards the pocket, he'd have a back cut on the 13, but it's a hard shot.
So, again,
just going to run the 7 down.
And that is tight.
Comes up with a good leave.
He needs to go completely away from this ball from my angle, so again, it's something that I would be looking. The closer the ball, and the object ball and the cue ball are, the more off the angles is, and people don't necessarily account for it. If he went for the 13, I'd be asking for a ref. If he doesn't,
I think I would just be pushing the 9 away from the 5.
Yeah.
The 3 and the 12 are still tied up. Gives you an opportunity to take control of that pocket and work on getting your balls all out.
And see, everybody's having some fun here, so that's why it's almost tough to call a ref. But if he's going for this 9 and he calls this 9, I'm calling a ref every day of the week. I like your idea. If
yeah, it doesn't go, but just push it down to the rail and stop the 7 from going. He's shooting away from the ball, so there's no double kiss.
There you go. Naturally, if the balls were further, that might have went with the angle that he shot it, but that, when you're so close, it's very difficult to tell where to hit the cue ball. I like, with the ball in hand, possibly going for that 3 ball, although the 5 still tight.
Shooting the 7 I like, but giving yourself a lot more angle so you go up and split that 5 and 9. This here, she just got to roll it barely and then shoot the 5 up in the corner just like that.
It's a good shot. Again, she's on the rail now, so it's a long shot. She needs to...
It definitely makes it harder.
Pool's all a percentage game. You want to, increase your chances, your percentage in each shot. Any shot is technically, well, almost any shot is makeable, but is it the right shot? Is it a smart shot? Is it the shot to make? That is what you need to think about. And she hit this smooth. Off. Oh, if it did go off, if the 5 went off the 2 ball and went in, it would still count because she called the 5 in that corner.
Yeah, you call the ball and the pocket.
There are some leagues out there where you have to call rail, and every touch that the cue ball makes or the object ball makes, we're running tap rules, and you do not need to do that. The ball and the pocket.
There's some leagues that it's all flukes. If you hit your ball first and one of your balls goes in, doesn't matter how many balls it goes off of, it still counts. You find the higher end players find that a little bit more frustrating when the lower end players become lucky with flukes.
And again, that has to do with your pattern and your routine. If someone gets up there and just hits a ball, everything changes. And sometimes I've seen higher handicap players lose simply because they're getting frustrated. They know what they want to do and they go sit down, and the opponent just completely changes the entire table and the dynamic. So 9 balls notorious for that.
That's a great shot.
Very good. And does she have angle, though, to get over to that 2? She needs to stun this over. It's going to be a very, very tough shot unless she calls the safety. I like the possible safety here. Oh, she's going to stun it over. She's going to do that. That was a great stroke. Now, if you notice how hard she hit it, but how slow it went over, the reason she actually manufactured an angle there. She hit it into the pocket with a little bit of bottoms and with good force, good amount of force. What that does on that slight angle is actually forces the cue ball over. That's why she hit it so hard and it went so slow. The cue ball did over to the other end. This is going to be a difficult shot.
I don't even like making this. I'd rather just roll it over the hole so it's there when she tries to break with the 5.
She needs to power through this if she wants it. And she wants to go for it, but I don't know if it might be better to try to... I don't know.
The only thing she's really got now is to force it off the 12, off 2 rails, up in the corner where the 13 is.
Actually, she could roll it forward and just leave it on leave the cue ball there. If she rolls it forward right now, then the 8 ball comes into play to block the 9 ball, and the 13 is really, really tough cut. That's what she played. It just came out just a little too much. For that shot, she needed to hit it slightly on the left side of that 3 ball, not straight on. By hitting on the left, the 3 would have been near the rail like that, and yes, you would be knocking the 12 out a bit, but the cue ball would be on slightly the opposite side.
Well, he's made a good shot on the 12, but he has hooked himself on the 9, and the 13 is tough.
Again, it was close, so he didn't want to follow that through and become a foul. So he snapped at the cue ball, and he missed the ball altogether. So that is a ball in hand. And if you notice, that's good sportsmanship because Jacqui has to ask. There was no ref present, so she had to ask, and Hamid did agree that did not hit the ball, so it is ball in hand for Jacqui.
Here's that 2-rail shot you were talking about earlier.
I like the 2 rails because you can hit them a little bit more firm, but I like a little bit more angle than this. You just need to be comfortable. You need to hit it. There's also a good one in the side, 8 in the side pocket, but slow down, and that's an okay shot.
That's pretty much perfect. She's got nice angle. She's away from the rail.
And if she rolls this forward, even if she does miss, as long as it's pocket weight, if she does miss, he's going to have to hit that ball, that 9 ball on the side with extreme speed, and
it's a tough cut.
The only upside for Hamid if Jacqui misses this is that if he cuts that in, it's so thin that it might hit the 13.
She's made it.
Doesn't matter. She makes
What a
it.
great shot.
So Jacqui wins it here today. Hamid played a really, really good, strong match. He's definitely someone to watch out for in leagues and pool halls because he can make some shots. Yes, some bad options, but again, that just comes with experience. What do you think, Jeff?
Jacqui did what she had to do. She was calm and patient, waited her turn, played smart. The safety, you could see how that safety worked out for her very well. She did leave him a shot on the 12, but that shot never left him shape on his last 2 balls. And she was successful.
I think it went really well. He really does have a good long shot. But I mean, for not being in a league, I was really impressed with how well he plays, especially for being self-taught. That was quite impressive.
I've played a few that have went that long, but they've mainly been because I just couldn't get anything in to save my life, not because we're very, very tight matched. We were both playing very strategic, so making sure that the other person didn't have a shot even if we missed. I would absolutely love playing against someone like that again and again.
I encourage him to join TAP. That's the league that I'm in, so hopefully that turns out, but he has a lot of potential if he does end up joining the league.
Despite coming up against a sharp-shooting opponent, Jacqui stuck to her strategy and came away with the win in tonight's match. That'll do it for this week on Ringers vs. Regulars. On behalf of Jeff Bird and Alex Bartlett, I'm Justin Fota. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.